The allure of the unknown has always drawn adventurers to the edge of reason, but sometimes the pursuit of discovery comes at an unbearable cost. In August 1997, Rob Parker, a seasoned cave diver, embarked on an expedition into the Four Shark Blue Hole, a mesmerizing yet deadly underwater cavern in the Bahamas. What began as an awe-inspiring exploration quickly turned into a chilling tale of survival, betrayal, and loss, one that would haunt the diving community forever. Rob Parker was no stranger to pushing boundaries. Born and raised in Bournemouth, England, Parker's passion for adventure blossomed early. The towering cliffs of Dorset were his childhood playground, offering him the thrill of scaling heights. Yet, the call of the depths soon captured his imagination. Beneath the Earth's surface, in the labyrinth of caves and underwater tunnels, Parker found his true calling. His journey into cave diving began under the mentorship of Martin Farr, one of the world's most renowned divers. Together they explored England's Wookey Hole caves, where Parker honed his skills, navigating treacherous waters. His thirst for adventure took him to Florida's Wakulla Springs, a complex cave system that tested his limits and cemented his reputation as a fearless explorer. By 1997, Parker had established himself as a diver of extraordinary skill and determination. It was this reputation that led him to the Bahamas, where he joined a team of filmmakers documenting the mysterious Four Shark Blue Hole. But for Parker, the expedition was more than just a job. It was a tribute to his late friend and fellow diver, Rob Palmer, who had died tragically during a deep-sea dive earlier that year. The Four Shark Blue Hole is a natural wonder, its beauty rivaled only by its peril. Located near South Andros in the Bahamas, the Blue Hole plunges over 197 feet into the ocean floor, its depths shrouded in darkness and danger. The waters, subject to powerful tidal currents, shift unpredictably, trapping even the most experienced divers. Beyond the main cavern lies a narrow passage, its entrance hidden 131 feet below the surface. This passage leads to an unexplored underwater cave, a siren call for explorers like Parker. But the Blue Hole is not a place for the unprepared. The deeper one goes, the more treacherous the conditions become. The oxygen-deprived water, laced with toxic gases, is inhospitable to marine life. It is a place where only the most skilled and daring divers dare to venture. The mission to explore the Four Shark Blue Hole was ambitious, meticulously planned, and fraught with risks. A German documentary crew sought to capture the unique marine geography of blue holes worldwide. The Bahamas leg of the project focused on the Four Shark Blue Hole, a site renowned for its breathtaking underwater topography and the potential for new discoveries. Rob Parker and his partner, Dan Malone, were tasked with conducting multiple dives to film the main cavern. Each dive was carefully timed to coincide with slack tide when the currents were at their calmest. Their equipment included standard air tanks for shallower depths and trimix tanks for navigating the deeper sections. Safety measures were paramount, with pre-laid guidelines and support divers stationed at strategic points to assist in emergencies. Yet for Parker, the mission was about more than following a script. The unexplored passage at 131 feet beckoned him, a tantalizing promise of adventure that he could not resist. Despite the tight filming schedule and inherent dangers, Parker was determined to go beyond the planned scope of the expedition. On August 17, 1997, the team prepared for what would be their most daring dive yet. The day was spent meticulously checking equipment, reviewing safety protocols, and discussing contingency plans. Parker and Malone knew the risks: strong currents, limited visibility, and the ever-present threat of narcosis. Yet their excitement overshadowed their caution. The plan was simple in theory. Parker and Malone would descend into the Blue Hole with the two support divers. Once they reached the passage, the support divers would remain at the entrance, while Parker and Malone ventured inside. Pre-laid guidelines would help them navigate the narrow tunnel, and the team would regroup in the main cavern before making their ascent. At 8 p.m., the team began their descent into the four-shark blue hole. The surface water, calm and inviting, gave no indication of the darkness and danger below. The support divers remained at the cavern entrance, their lights casting faint beams into the inky water. Parker and Malone pressed on, their movements precise and deliberate. The passage leading to the unexplored cave was as daunting as they had anticipated. Barely 2 feet wide, it required them to squeeze through with painstaking effort. The oppressive darkness and the weight of the water above them amplified the tension. Emerging on the other side, Parker and Malone were greeted by a sight that defied imagination. The passage opened into a vast oceanic rift, an uncharted realm of darkness and silence. Their torchlights revealed nothing but the endless void, a stark reminder of how small they were in this alien world. No marine life stirred in the black waters. It was a place untouched by time and humanity. Driven by curiosity and adrenaline, the two divers began their descent into the rift. 50 feet, 100 feet, 150 feet, they plunged deeper, switching to their trimix tanks as they went. At over 200 feet, they still could not see the bottom. The experience was exhilarating, but both men knew they were venturing into dangerous territory. Reluctantly, they decided to ascend. The journey upward was fraught with peril. Midway through their ascent, Malone's regulator malfunctioned, forcing him to switch to a standard air tank. Rising from such depths without trimix significantly increased his risk of narcosis, but he had no other choice. Parker stayed close, monitoring Malone's progress as they approached the narrow passage. Suddenly, disaster struck. Parker, likely overwhelmed by exhaustion or narcosis, lost consciousness and began sinking back into the rift. Malone acted swiftly, diving after his partner and grabbing him by the ankle. The effort was monumental. Malone fought against the pull of the abyss, his own oxygen supply dwindling rapidly. At the entrance to the passage, Parker regained consciousness, but their ordeal was far from over. Malone, now dangerously low on air, managed to squeeze through the narrow tunnel and emerge in the main cavern. Turning to wait for Parker, he watched helplessly as the minutes ticked by. Parker did not follow. Faced with an impossible choice, Malone made the heart-wrenching decision to surface, leaving Parker behind. Along with the support divers, he began the grueling 3-hour ascent, pausing at each decompression stop. The journey was torturous, each moment filled with guilt and dread. When the team surfaced at 2 a.m., Parker's fate was all but certain. His widow and friends were devastated, their grief compounded by anger and accusations. Some claimed that Malone had abandoned Parker, while others defended his decision as the only viable option. 2 days later, the recovery team finally descended into the blue hole. Parker's body was found wedged in a narrow crevice 147 feet below the surface, his gear stripped away to free him from the rocks. Investigators concluded that narcosis had clouded Parker's judgment in his final moments, leading to his tragic demise. Parker's ashes were scattered in the caves he loved, a fitting farewell to a man whose life was defined by his passion for exploration. Rob Parker's story is a haunting reminder of the fine line between ambition and recklessness. His life was a testament to the power of curiosity and the relentless pursuit of the unknown. But his death underscores the importance of respecting the forces of nature and the limits of human endurance. Dive deep, but with caution. Let Rob Parker's story serve as both an inspiration and a warning. Exploration is a noble pursuit, but no discovery is worth the cost of a life. Dive deep, but always surface safely. Respect the abyss. It is as unforgiving as it is beautiful.